Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Chris from The Ultimate Recycler and we're on another farm trip. We're just about there. It's been not a bad trip. We drove through a bit of a storm early. It's still pretty warm even though we're into autumn now, or fall as some of you call it. A couple of days here at the farm. We're going to try and get a van load. We've got a bit of other stuff to organise. I think my brother's going to be here as well. So yeah, come along for the ride. Another episode. So here we go, we're only a short way out of the local town and it's looking pretty dry now. We had a real late summer this year. I think if you've been following the series, you'll know I was quite amazed with how green it stayed right through summer, and only in the last week or so, when we're now into autumn, that it's really dried off and we had a bit of a heat wave. It was over 38 for 3 days in a row. With a bit of a hot wind, and that's over 40 degrees in the old scale. Sorry, over 100 in the old scale. The driveway is quite rough and bumpy. Everything was dried off. And oh, I think that's Greg's car. Yeah, he's got a Volvo now. So he's come up from Melbourne for a few days. We're going to try and sort out some stuff, load the van, and hopefully be productive. So the trip was a good one, and after a quick lunch we're straight into packing, back the van up to the carport area. We've already got some furniture pieces in, so I hope to get a big van load. I think I mentioned before, or maybe I didn't, but the main priority is to get a full van load to make sure the trip is worthwhile. So I've got a few cupboards in out of the farmhouse. We've got lots of boxes and crates of books to put in. And the good old milk crates are forever handy and they stack very well, and we've got a lot of books in there, so they'll be fine for storage for longer term, because it's going to take a while for this to be all unpacked and sorted through. The weather this trip is much nicer than it was last time I was home, where we topped out 40 degrees and it was a catastrophic fire day. It's fairly warm, it's nearly 30 and it's a bit humid, and I'll give you a bit of a footage here of the trip over earlier today. We drove through fairly heavy rain on the way. It was a bit of a storm actually, very heavy, and it made things quite humid. And I get over to the farm here now, and as you can see, it's very dry in the paddocks. I haven't had a drop over here, but I think they are forecasting some possible showers tomorrow. Anyway, it shouldn't affect our loading. It's nice and, well, it's better conditions than last time anyway. And an update on what we've been up to. We've just had our evening meal, our dinner or tea, depending what part of the world you're from. And I've come back out here. I need to organise this area a bit better. I've cleaned off some of the pieces of furniture that were very dusty. I need to sort of get the blower out and just clean up all the leaves and everything. Neaten it up a bit, because I want it all ready for people to browse. Now we have a few people coming out tomorrow. I put some photos on Facebook Marketplace, and I'll show you in a minute what I took photos of. We haven't got any more in the van yet. I want to wait until we get a great big cabinet in there which will fit on this side, and then I can start filling in the gaps with boxes. I've tied the door here to the pole of the carport just to hold it open. Hopefully I don't drive off and forget to untie it. So I've had some success on Facebook Marketplace. Hopefully people turn up, because that's the true measure of success. Facebook is notorious for people saying yes, yes, and they never show up. I've got someone coming for that steel cabinet in the front there. It's got a bit of surface rust on it. I just put it on for free, and there's someone pretty keen on that. Another guy's coming to get both the wardrobes, which is really good. Hopefully he turns up. I think he just wants them for shed storage. So that's excellent. That will free up all those. I did have one inquiry on the retro buffet. So I'm not sure if he's coming or not yet, but I've pretty good response actually. And the people that want the steel cabinet there also were interested in some of the free cabinets that I put on last time. And they asked if we had white goods, and I have a suspicion they might even be furniture dealers or something. So who knows, if they turn up they might take a fair bit of stuff. We can only cross our fingers and hope. So I'm just neatening all this up, because if we do have people out here, well, there's a chance we might be able to get rid of more of it. These beds, you will remember, came out of the shipping container last time I was home, and I've got everything priced there, so fingers crossed we can move some of it. The old workshop has been a bit lonely lately. I haven't spent any time in here. We did a few episodes getting a lot of stuff out of here, and I just haven't been back. We've been sort of concentrating on moving stuff out of the house. I did empty the cupboard over there mostly, and I'll probably fit a few extra little things in the van this trip. But it's just spending time in different places. And when I'm only here for 2 days, it's just difficult to get a lot done. I do need to clean up the all-terrain vehicle we've got. That's over in this shed near the caravan. It's hardly been used. I'm the only one that actually drives it, and because I'm not back for 2 or 3 weeks at a time, it's just the spider webs are taking over. It looks really dilapidated. Have a look at the steering wheel. So it's something that Indiana Jones would probably like driving, with great big tarantulas sitting on his shoulder. But I'll clean this up. I'll give it a wash. We're not going to sell it just yet. I called it an all-terrain vehicle. I think it's a UTV. I'm not sure what that stands for. A utility vehicle, something like that. But it's pretty handy around the farm. And when we're finished cleaning up, it will be for sale. This shed is a bit of a mess over here. I haven't actually got into this area yet. I do need to clean this up. But on the other side of the caravan, we've got a trailer that I can now actually sell. It did have the golf buggy on it, and we've donated that to the golf club, the local golf club where Dad was a life member. And you may remember it or look back on previous videos. And it actually belonged to my uncle, and Dad, I think, bought the trailer, and my uncle bought the golf cart. So they've donated that back to the club, which I think the club really appreciated. And now the trailer's not required, and they didn't need a trailer out there because it always stays out there. So I think that's probably worth maybe loading up one time and taking back to Nagambie, and I can sell it from over there. Or maybe I could advertise it on eBay here. Not sure. There's certainly no rush. It's not, it's not really a big job. I might look at doing that for next time. I might drag it out and do a few photos of it. It's certainly a well-made trailer. Be handy for lots of uses. I think it's got obviously a ramp on the back for loading and unloading the golf cart. So anyway, I'll check that out. The old fridges need to go to the transfer station at some stage. They will take them just for scrap metal. Won't be this time, but maybe next time we'll do a load of scrap metal. But this week I will be taking the trailer out. I think Thursday morning before I go home, we'll take the trailer out and get rid of that general rubbish. I have a bit more to top it up to make a decent load. And once again, the ute's covered in spider webs and dust. Again, I'm the only one that drives it, so I might give that a bit of a quick pressure wash. I was going to clean up the tractor, but it's actually looking pretty good. We've sold this to Ross, the new owner, so it looked pretty shabby last time I was home, and it has been moved, so maybe someone did give it a quick wash, or at least the wind blew the cobwebs off it, but it looks a bit nicer. I do have to take the belt pulley off the back. This is one of the last little construction jobs that Dad did last year when he was still able to do things on the farm. And he made up an adapter bracket to fit this flat belt pulley onto the PDO of the Chamberlain tractor. So I'll take that off because I don't think Ross wants that on there. And they've emptied one bay here in the shed, and I think the tractor has been moved because someone apparently is going to park their caravan out here for temporary storage. So that's pretty cool. But it's nice to see the shed still nice and neat and empty. And tomorrow it's supposed to be a lot cooler. It's only going to be around 20 degrees, I believe, or 22. So I'm hoping to finally clean up this ugly pile of steel pipe. And for the rest of the evening, I've just been sorting out some stuff in Dad's shed here. So we just keep picking away at all the different spots. I know I've said before I like to thoroughly do one area and move along systematically. But sometimes there's practicalities involved, and of course when it's dark I come into the sheds. So we've got to get that pipe sorted out in the morning when it's nice and cool, and we'll make that the next episode. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.